Now, I thought a great topic to start us off today, and it's a hot topic currently in South Africa on a chilly morning in Potchefstroom. And I don't want to get into politics that much, but solar panels and the current situation that we find ourselves in South Africa, and the National Treasury recently said, okay, listen, we're happy to give you a rebate if you install solar panels at your house. And myself and I think a lot of other people jumped at the opportunity and installed solar panels. But I must admit, I don't really know what that entails. How do you get money back? How does it work? When will you get the money back? What must be in place for you to get the rebate or get cash? Or if you can shed some light and tell us how it will work, it will help.
Okay, so obviously from a national perspective, there's a desperate need for more electricity to be generated in South Africa. And in line with this, the National Treasury then decided to incentivize private households to make an investment into generating their own electricity, at least during the daylight hours. So what the National Treasury has done is to say, okay, we will give you an amount back on your taxes if you install solar generation capacity. How it works is that, and I think maybe the first important thing about this is the fact that the rebate that you can get is only on the solar panels. It is not for the inverter. It is not for the batteries. It is not for the installation costs. So it's solely on the solar panels themselves. These solar panels need to be 275 watts or more of generation capacity, and they need to be installed in the tax year 1 March 2023 to 28 February 2024, or 29 February 2024, I suppose. Next year is a leap year. You need to have these panels installed by an accredited installer, and in order to claim your rebate from SARS, you then need to have 3 documents. The first document would be an invoice that specifies the costs of these solar panels separately from any of the other costs for the installation. So that's very important. The second one is the proof of payment for this invoice. So you need to prove to SARS that you have paid for these solar panels. And the third one is what we call a COC, or a certificate of compliance, from a person, an electrician probably, who is qualified to sign this off to say that your installation complies with the requirements from an electrical point of view. And that will also give SARS an indication as to when the installation happened, because obviously it's important that it happens in this year. Now, I've had a few questions about, is it really only going to be for this year, or will it be extended? The answer is we don't know. I think if you want to do a solar installation, do it sooner rather than later, from a rebate point of view, but I think also, just from a general convenience point of view, I think it's the right time.
Is there a cap on the amount that you can claim?
Yes. So the maximum amount that you can claim is 15,000 Rand, and you can claim 1/4 or 25% of the amount that you have spent on these solar panels. So if you do an installation of, let's say, 40,000 Rand, then you will be able to claim 10,000 Rand. 60,000 Rand would give you 15,000, but anything over 60, you'll still be capped at the 15,000 Rand.
I've got just another question on that. In terms of, I think I read that they keep referring to individuals. So let's say my wife and I live in the same house, but we've got separate invoices, separate proof of payments. Is it per household, per house? I don't know. We didn't necessarily talk about this beforehand or prepare on that. or so that you can claim double if both you and your wife install at the same house 60,000 worth of solar panels, or would they catch on to that?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting one. So it is per residential unit as I have it. So I don't think you would be able to install, let's say, from two parties at one residential unit.
For me, it's interesting that SARS would require a COC to be submitted as well to get the rebate. What might be the reason for that?
So I think SARS with the COC, because that is done by an external third party, it wouldn't be done by your installer. SARS has an external verification of the actual date of the installation of these panels, which would then, obviously indicate to them that the panels were installed in the time window that they've given for the rebate to be claimed.
Okay. And then specifically on the rebate, and this is the tax things that I don't always understand, and it's for me and I would believe a lot of the viewers as well. The rebate, will that form part of your yearly tax return and you will just get a discount on your tax, or would it be money that you will actually get back from SARS regardless of your taxes that you file?
So what will happen is, if you are let's call it a normal taxpayer, so typically a salaried employee or somebody along those lines, what will happen is that you will get all of your documents together, and unfortunately only next year in July, when the filing season opens for the 2024 tax year, you will be able to submit your return, and in your return there'll be a place where you can fill in the fact that you've installed solar and how much you think your deduction should be. SARS will probably then, once you render your return to them, query this, and you'll have to send them the relevant documentation. And after that, SARS will then, depending on how the balance of your return obviously looks, either pay you out your 15,000 or deduct it from any debt that is still owing to them. If you are a provisional taxpayer, so you've got your own business, or there's some other income that you're earning in your own name, you are already allowed to deduct the 15,000 Rand, or up to 15,000 Rand, from the first provisional tax return after you have made the installation. So theoretically, a provisional taxpayer who does an installation now would actually already receive a part of the benefit in August when he or she renders their provisional tax return.